Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Guess who's one of our witnesses tomorrow? Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Local prison, cell 9. Oh, it's you! You're here, you came! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh no! Think nothing of it! Relax! If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese! Oh wow, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable Ron Spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, what? He's like, prison cell is a better option than that shithole. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight, and cost me not a penny. Arr! You! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is be damned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Let's hear about the cursed trial, friend. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you just said now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no! Why are you looking at me so grave? You're making me nervous! I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything at all by it. I see, that's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please, tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words! No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution, ever. Oh my goodness! Can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGilded. What? Ah, I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes? Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself. Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper! Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good! Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand methods, means those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence and the prosecution can fail. Means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madame, is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though their adjudication may seem them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. To disappear? But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drowned. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by a highwayman. What the hell is happening? Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. I knew it! I'm a dead dodo done for, doomed! When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Gerdeb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure the people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to the room on Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, if you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place. Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I've been choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded as a killer, thrown into prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits! If only there were someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all. To believe in. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Burya, if you recall. The Burya. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. You helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean, because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room. Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right. Look, I'm student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Whether or not I can believe in myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Oh man. You were so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume? If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. The locum student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! As I said, I only experienced British courtroom for the first time yesterday. Although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe even? But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. To trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Morning. Hey there, Bjarn. How's Bjarn doing tonight? And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. It's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. Could be better if found out your cousin is lying to you. Oh geez. Oh dear, family drama is always really tough on people. And understandable why that would be very bad. Nothing too serious? Oh yeah. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Susato? Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Cosmo believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time now to learn to believe in myself. So Seki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all strength I can muster. Oh man. He also ain't got his story straight? Yeah. It's like, come on, cook up something better. Alright. Right there, Bjarn. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning this country's legal practices. Our research the latest court procedures here. We need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh, geez. But turns out it doesn't exist. Oh, geez. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, dear. Are you all right? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Great Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literally people take things so literally? Oh yeah. Yep. It's a tale fraught with stuff. Right there, Bjarn. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of an opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Left eye is so bloodshot. I don't know what to do. Like it's drier than a piece of drywall. Damn. Maybe some eye drops. Maybe get, like... I don't know if you guys got some eye drops or anything. Do you know what and why that might be, Miss Susato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Susato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it! Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Trial 2 days ago marked Lord Von Zeeks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. What a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking. They are all speculating various answers. Mundane! Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us! Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Look, I'm student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Me? I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example of Mr. Naruhodo of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck! Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget, that was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this, I will fight your corner until the bitter end. I believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires. I mean your debt forever, and she'll never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Cosma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Here we go. Time to go into court. 20th of February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? And my wisdom teeth are almost fully in and hurting my other teeth. Uh-oh, it's time. Oh man, I hated that. Oh man. I got my wisdom teeth out pretty early and they were all impacted. So meaning they were sideways in my jaw. So I had all 4 of mine taken out at the exact same time. Oh, that was a fun day. That was a fun day. And then after I got home, I was groggy from that was a day where I just laid and did nothing. Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. I already had jaw enlargement, but still ain't enough. Damn. Susato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Yeah, I did not, and mine all came in impacted, and so I had to go and get surgery done to take out all 4 of them, and oh man. Not being able to eat anything really solid for 2 days was fun. Well, really it was a day or two. They were like, don't ignore them like I did. Mine got infected and removing them was a mess, oh geez. Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Thank you, consuls. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck. But I believe in fair play for everyone. Oh my god. He was... Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
I'm afraid to say, I think it's possible that mustache foreigner did the deed.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Eh? Sorry, didn't quite hear that. Didn't quite catch that.
Oh god. Is he me? Does he have a hearing problem like I do? I have one good ear now. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who is doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime, I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Eh? Sorry, didn't quite hear that.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in the great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, the detective inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. Love the variety of jurors in this game. Oh yeah. What? So they don't even know who she is? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not been long since stops known as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is a case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that right here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab that poor woman. Even a scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems as if she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, we're looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
If theft and grievance have been ruled out as motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing a young woman? Yet you arrested a man in spite of that in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Oh God! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery, but your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Okay, first... Okay. Oh, Look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. Small piece of blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato. Wonder what could have happened to it. Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in a victim, do you? Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Okay. Actually, I want to look at this too. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. East side, Rolly Beat. Victim remains unconscious. Her name is gleaned from personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from a single stab wound from a large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by reporting an officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Hope there won't be a smoke bomb again. True. Garly didn't sign up for dodging bottles. True. Is it me, or is that knife too clean for 32 stabs? A possible metal piece in one's back is something to be said. Yeah, that would be very disturbing. That would be very disturbing there, Bjorn. Yes, sir. Witness testimony time. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good. There was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor, those being a number of old books he had just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? My lord, I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. Ah yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take the photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat, denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Von Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it. What are you doing, Miss Susato? Do go on. Mr. Natsume is admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Now that you mention it, when we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us what had happened. As I was walking along the cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat, she was. Just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold hard slab of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing.
Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next?
The defendant has not done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. And here we go. Let's save. Okay, actually, I want to... Poor lady.
Hold it!
A light fog, you say? Well, like for London, you could see the opposite side of the street from once. Not much farther, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that gives a city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed. The other day, I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Wait a minute.
Hold it!
How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation in your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated by night by gas streetlights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means that we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, then maybe we'll be able to. It seems counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Hold it!
From behind, you say? That's right, as you can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition, comatose no less. I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bart's. I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Ugh. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings? I think you'll find it all here in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand, which means His other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. Meaning to say the defendant was holding his belongings and thrust his knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. That's not nice! Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems, okay?
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of English literature. I commend the accused of the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest secondhand bookshop to accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mearstrom Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road, at the opposite end, which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route they would have taken. Something like this. Local maps information has been updated in court record. Something about that just... Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. I'm pretty sure I know what it is because it wasn't bought at that shop. Bookshop's name, of course. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Think he's guilty? My guy? My guy, I don't think is guilty. Well, obviously. Objection! If you could just stop right there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know! This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books. You found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop that's printed on it. Go on. The receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-U-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. Going with train Saturday. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah. Going on a train Saturday, nice.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map right here, if that might be of help. Yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes. He would almost... Where's the other place? Then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account that it was actually at another bookshop, your books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? Yeah, first time training in like 13 years and going alone is 2 hours, kind of stressed? Damn. The guy in black is the bad guy, right? He could be. It's very interesting how they've decided. It rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it's a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. Could possibly be right. No, like, we don't like the guy in black. True. True. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here on the other corner of Mearstrom Street. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. Yeah, this guy is not our friend. He's not our friend. This is such a perfect fucking screen for calling someone a clown. To your future career in the circus. But the other guy in black is my friend, yes. Grr, you put that glass down or I'll put it down for you. Don't think I need to spell it out for you, but here we go. The accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books. There's no doubt he would still have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Ugh. Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. I'd go the other way. I would have gone down the road, but that's me. True.
As I expected. Suspected, you can't fool me. I don't suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What? What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must think. We must consider the assertion we just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. Okay. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see with it on this, what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, it must track the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Oh God. In the winter, I'd take the long route. In the summer, no. Hell yeah. I would have gone that way? True there, Bjarne. I would have gone that way too. I don't believe this! I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, defense still... Uh-oh. I agree with Lord Von Zeeks, wholeheartedly in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean we members of the jury are completely convinced now? Uh-oh. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon the members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. If I have to tip the balance of the scales the other way, I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Quarry, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into the antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nepalese whippersnapper and his Anka's refusal to throw in his... Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant guilty. Okay. Here we go there, guys. But yeah, I would have... For pity's sake, that little Nepalese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books. Yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. Are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard that from the inspector that the defendant then fled from the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? How are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that no way could see? It's impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue, yes, I know, we have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. Yes, my lord. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryusuke. You can do it. Okay, let's save. This is going to go crazy.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in a witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I have a feeling I knew your face, or the sight of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush was down under, I came back to London to work. And it was going swimmingly until you started fossicling around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
Hold it!
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly there was someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nepalese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man's obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly. Claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes? If that's a lie you're suggesting, do you think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Oh God. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare that the man has already made the omission. He himself has stated that there was no one else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, then the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you're too kind, my lord. Okay.
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there were other routes that Mr. Natsume could have took back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean. What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. At that moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Is this all true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is I went home along Briar Road. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim and then that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Road, the roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. Taking a longer way home. Good reason. I don't imagine you'd be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. Okay.
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Daredevil, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room.
The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand?
She's keeping up the charade. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? Have you been selected for a jury in the trial, I mean?
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I have no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, does he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
In that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness me, yes. He's just the sort.
What?
Spending all of his time in that dark, dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks. And don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be a building a bomb in there or something.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Okay.
Hold it!
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Huh? The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's hard slog from dawn till dusk it is. So you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence. That's right. Meerstrom Street it was. Meerstrom Street. On the map, Mr. Naruhodo. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Tisk. Fine, I'll do it then. On the day it happened, I was digging up Meerstrom Street from dawn till dusk. Okay. Okay, really quickly, let's save that.
Hold it!
So, if I understand correctly, you're a day laborer and you were doing road maintenance that day. That's right. Like I said, you get a lot of burst gas in the middle of winter. It's the only time of year fellows like me can actually make a few bob. I'm missing out today. And when you say from dawn to dusk, well, that work has to be completed within the day, see? No coaches or pedestrians can pass while it's happening. Wonder if I could trouble you, sir, to mark on this street map the exact location of the works you were carrying out? Give it here, then. Let me have a look. Right. Let's see, then. Here we are, Meerstrom Street. Yeah, it was just here, like. It was a tidy dig, I can tell you. We had to get through all the drifts of snow that had frozen solid. And what sort of time did you finish the work? Well, we started in the morning, and we can't have finished before 6, I'd say. Snow had stopped coming down, but it was long past dark for sure. It means the road work was still going on when Miss Green was attacked at around 5. Road work on Meerstrom Street, huh?
Hold it!
Sorry? Fold it, you say? Fold what? No, what I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon. It would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say. Exactly when the victim was attacked. You sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it was most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road. That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may be very, very well extremely significant. Sorry, extremely sick? No, I'm quite all right now. It sends a shiver down my spine to hear them. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo. Cunningly. Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again carefully. Yes, don't hold back. Pit them against each other. Okay.
Hold it!
And that was around 5 o'clock, you say? The same time as the victim was attacked? I don't know anything about the girl who was stabbed, but my dinner's on the table at the same time every day. And for the record, could you please identify the precise location of your fall?
Goodness, it was eons ago. I'm not sure I can remember.
It was 3 days ago. Try dredging your memory, please.
Well, let me see. It was especially slippery about... Ah, yes, I remember now. It was just on the corner here.
What happened to you then? Were you all right?
Well, you don't get too many people down Calabash Road, you see. So there was no one around when I fell. No one around when I knocked myself out. No one around when I came to again. And no one around when I sneezed. So I picked myself up and went back to my nice warm house where my grandchildren were waiting for me. A sad and lonely picture you paint, sir. You were fortunate not to have frozen to death.
Yes, how lucky that he wasn't more seriously injured. True, sounds like it was very nearly another hospital admission, or worse. One more thing. Were you wearing that same green overcoat on the day in question?
Absolutely. It's the only coat I have.
It took until this morning to dry out properly.
Good job, too.
Well, I have nothing to wear here.
So count your blessings, I say. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh God, Santa Claus! Okay. Okay, we know exactly what we need to do now.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2? Juror number 6?
My, whatever do you mean, sir?
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. Well, there is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are all aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madame? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over in the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring to, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat from the whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes. This is hilarious. Was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today? It's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that.
My goodness me.
Sorry, you need a pee? And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, means the defendant must have taken a long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. You idiot old man! If you hadn't been so daft as to roaming about there, we would have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but you'd like to change your leaning, I presume. I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well.
Oh, he's mad. He's upset. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely. Yep. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. On with the summation examination, please. Okay. That was... Okay, it's 3 and 5.
Objection!
These two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel. Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want this to get done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir? What do you want? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on a map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerstrom Street, making it impassable, which means the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerstrom Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken a longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes! Uh-oh. I wear a green coat too? Nice. Hell yeah. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may? Yes? I don't think in all good conscience I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument, should be filled in. That's what I say. Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes 2, the noes 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the jurors, members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Eh? Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of pavement which you had excavated, sir? That's right. Took me a whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have a hope of passing anyway. We just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
Is that true, is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And, old man.
Old man, you can talk?
You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember.
You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would say 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Order! Lord Von Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, as they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What? What are you talking about? My lord! The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witness. Its next witnesses? Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yeah, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Von Zeeks brings to the stand as his witness, no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end. Until this battle is over. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Constable Roy Beatty, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. I'm Miss Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary on the other day. No, it's your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Well, it's being an honorable occupation. Patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters, and are reading true, and they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights. There are a number of items on the list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beatty? Or Beat. I think it's Beatty, though. That would be funny. That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly? Constable Roy Beatty, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw in the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. What the witnesses saw. It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Oli and I both saw him clear as day. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Oh dear. The policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed. It's death knell, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. One unfortunate be-chancing. On your wedding anniversary, too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except the man's so tired his wife has to do all the talking. Commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Man, we're rolling.
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say. You're also a member of the police, Mrs. Beatty? Oh, no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can you? I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling? What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Rolly. I much prefer you in uniform. Oh god. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear. That doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you finished the beat, correct? That's right, sir. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. What's that now? My warrant card, sir. Prove that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss Beatty puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh Pat. Oh Rolly. Oh dear. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps. And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Hold it!
Two silhouettes. That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in an opposite direction. There's a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim is pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume. Yes, unfortunately, it does. And you're certain that at the time that was nobody else nearby. Oh yes, certain. It was dark, but there are street lights on Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around at all. Is that right, my darling? What? Ah, yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground, but Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. Another street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beatty. Are you quite sure of what you just said? Yes, sir! As a copper who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh, God. They're still maintaining that there was no one else around the other side, around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to... There's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? Fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident. What happened in the crucial moments that followed? All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off.
Hold it!
Scattered something. What do you mean by that? Oh well. I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? What? Ah, yes, that's right. It's some old books. I see, old books. Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them, all around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed, it's clearly pictured in his photographic print. That round Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right. You looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifyingly intense eyes, and then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue. Yes, sir!
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Is that right, my darling? Huh? What? Ah, yes, that's right. I asked Miss Beatty to go. I was off duty by that point, but Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beatty. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly the right police box? Depending on crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat, so I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat that incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for her help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more fun than a young couple in love working together, you know. And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. Actions of two model citizens. Oh, please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? Clear as day, even though it was fog. Been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? I absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight. I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you the fog was only light, didn't he? Huh. Yes, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? Constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was the little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? What? Yes, it was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. With Soseki-san, they saw him running away from the scene of the crime. But that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. or Mrs. B saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are going to call for guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no, and what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here, what are you trying to say? I think you would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Your statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if their pair's memory of the day is accurate. Oh, right. Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial might reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Can I ask you something? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... Seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it! What? No. Oh no, it's not really that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember. I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything, like, oh I know, what about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could, every single one. You dare to question how reliable my testimony is? That will do, Miss B. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will. I really don't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beatty. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would sell things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Four books he dropped at the scene. Okay, there's our contradiction right there. But we'll wait for that contradiction tomorrow there, guys. My voice is starting to feel a little ragged, so I'm gonna end it here. So thank you to GFX, thank you to Bjorn, thank you to everyone that lurked. Always appreciate you guys. Always appreciate everyone that hangs out and spends their time here. I will see you guys tomorrow for another stream of this. I'll see you guys then.